Prepare yourself for invasion. This is Indie Invasion.
Whoa, look at that. Coffee done in the nick of time.
Coffee.
What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome in. We're back for a hobby night tonight. And I'm happy that Mac joined us. He's got some storms bearing down on him, but he made it. He's got power.
I got power right now. Yeah, if I drop out, I won't be back. Rest assured, if I drop out, I won't be back.
Yeah, what's up? We saw Anthony popping in, and tonight, it's a hobby
there's
hangout
the
night.
Ron
Let's
sir.
sling some paint. Let's get some stuff done tonight. I'm excited because I worked on another mech and got one ready after, I had the success of my inspiration. I'm going to keep rolling with the Transformers theme, and I built another one, and we're going to do RC tonight. So
yeah, I'm going to be working on some Burrows and Badgers stuff.
yeah, if you guys didn't see in Discord, Mac has been playing the game.
Finally, Seth and I started our campaign, and I would like to say that we started our campaign off very well. We played a little bit of a custom scenario, and we both kind of won. I mean, it was a good game.
Oh yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. So I'm not quite as chipper as Eric today. We had to put one of our dogs down today. So
I
figured it would be good to just pop on here and do a little painting and
in the
fellow
past,
crazy people.
Yeah, in the past, both of us have had that where we're just kind of like not feeling it. And once we get in here and we start working and chit-chatting with each other, it really helps. I mean, if you guys at home have like a buddy that you can just sit with and paint and just kind of, you chill out. It's one of those, you get focused on what you're working on that the rest of the world just gets kind of shut out.
Yeah. So anyway, I got some stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna point my camera down now. I haven't painted anything in a while, so my desk is just like a
mess.
It's not really too bad of a mess, but it's not a painting mess. You know how like when you're set up for painting, you've got your brushes and everything. You might have a bunch of paint on the table and it's messy. Well, I just got stuff. Not so much painting stuff.
So basically,
stuff.
Your desk looked like my desk used to look when I was downstairs, and just
probably
there's like 10 different game miniatures and
Well, I did pretty good on the minis. Let me see. I'm gonna. Where's my little zoomer controller? See, I don't even know where there's my little zoomer. Let's see. Turn the light on. Get the zooms. Zooming in.
Hang on.
Right?
I'm gonna actually get
cool, man. So here's what I got some 3D. These aren't official. I mean, I highly recommend the official Burrows and Badgers minis, but these are just a few 3D
You know what
prints.
That Rhino reminds me of was the Disney's Robin Hood, where he has a fox. He looks like the guardsman.
Yep. So I've got a dog, a mole, and my rhino.
I really like the Rhino.
I'm doing them in. You can't really tell so much. You can tell on his shield. So I've got
that looks
I've
good.
got a black and red
color
scheme for my Royalist warband, which I'm not even playing. I'm not even playing a Royalist warband. And then I decided to do the cartoon style on the tiles. So
it kind of makes them stand out, but not too much that it takes away from the mini.
Yeah, so these are all 3D prints that I'm working on.
Okay. I like those.
So I'm gonna just get started here.
I'm gonna get rid of
Ron, I saw you went to that concert with your daughter. Super cool, man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Super cool. All right, let's see.
Who was that concert for more? Her or you?
Oh, please. It was Megadeth. It was for him. She likes him, I'm sure, but yeah, it was for him. Come on. Now, this is not my first rhino that I've ever painted either. I've got there's a really cool Antimatter Games has a really great rhino. It doesn't have the silly proportions like this one does. I mean, this one's awesome, but this one's somewhat comical. The Antimatter Games one is intended to be a bit more on the serious side. And the thing I remember the most about that model is I was painting him. I had primed him up and I painted him. I was holding him just like this. And I turned him over and he's got a little skirt on like this guy does. And the sculptor put little balls on him. I was like, okay, it's my anatomically correct rhino.
All right.
But it's a really cool model, though. I know I've said this before, but I'm a big fan of the Antimatter Games sculpts. And I will say this, they've gone from traditional sculpting to 3D sculpting because everything's in STLs now. And it's been good. I've seen some people go from traditional sculpting to 3D sculpting and losing some of that magical detail. I mean, I know you can get it in the digital sculpting, but some of the guys out there that are traditional sculptors are just so amazing. That's just not a comparison.
All right, so I found some cool references this week for RC. I'll hold them right here. So a little bit different. Unfortunately, I could not find a pure pink like this. I'm either going to have to mix it, get one later, and use what I got. I got this magenta that I might use as a base coat and then go over it with the pure pink later. I thought I had one, but I do not have a 80s fluorescent pink. And that's okay.
I have a super old school pink.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't have one in any of the little sets that I bought, nothing. I was like, wow, I'm surprised. Especially, I got a bunch of those Zombicide sets. That's where this one came from, the Toxic Boils.
Yeah.
But it's more of a purple, not a pink. So, yeah, especially when you hold it next to like this magenta. It's like, yeah, that looks like a purple. Camera's not doing it justice, but.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Ron got some stuff going on, man. That's awesome. All kinds
Maniacs,
of stuff.
Firefight. I think. Did you post pictures, Ron? I think I saw that. Yeah, with the Starfighters.
In the Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them too. Looked good. Now, those looked like Vipers. Well, they were Vipers, but I'm wondering, are those the ones that were the Battlestar Galactica flight path system game? Is that what those were from, or did you print those? Because I've got the Battlestar Galactica flight path game. They tried to capitalize on the success of X-Wing, and it's really cool. I played it, but 3D printed them. Come on, man. That's right. I know. I had to ask though, because I have some of the Vipers and Cylon ships from the Battlestar Galactica board game, not board game, the flight path game. And it's pretty cool. It incorporated some maneuvers that were taking into account the fact that you were fighting in space.
Yeah, so you had that drift and stuff like that.
Yeah, yep. And it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't play it too much, and I got a bunch of them on sale from Alan at Discover. All right, let's see. My mole. I love this mole.
All right. Let's see what this looks like on here. Let's do. There's a lot going on at this, so I'm just, I guess, gonna. Well, here, let's just jump right in, right?
Oh, nice. They're going to have Buck Rogers ships, Babylon 5 fighters, and Vipers. Now you got to print the last Starfighter.
There you go, yeah.
Add that to the collection. I bet you could find that somewhere. Already did. Of course you did. I haven't gotten any resin in a while. Derek, the guy that bought Twisted, he turned me on to a 3D printing guy who's got some really neat stuff. It's primarily for RPGs, but there were some cool things desert-wise that I thought would look pretty cool with the Scions of the Sand. So there's that.
Looks darker once I got it on here.
Yeah.
It's like I put in my palette and I'm like, oh, it looks pretty. Okay, why is it not sticking right there?
Uh-oh. And no sticky?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It doesn't want to. It's like my primer is a little funky right there. I don't know.
Uh-oh, I have flickering on my camera. I don't know what that's all about. Thought I kept catching something out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, I'm excited to throw down on another game of Burrows and Badgers.
That's cool that it went well. Did it run smoothly for you? Because I know you've tried it before, just solo.
Yes, it did. So it was. It's a really good rule set, and it's pretty easy. And it was nice because typically, what ends up happening when I play a game is I'm usually the person introducing it.
Yeah.
So I have the rule book. I'm introducing everything. I've read the rules and blah, 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 all that stuff. Well, in this instance, Seth has the rule book too. And so all of the rules queries that we had while we were playing, it wasn't just one of us having to hunt something down.
Yeah.
So that was really nice because that sped a lot of stuff up. He found way more than I did when we were looking something up. And I was totally okay with that. So no real news on Twisted at the moment, unfortunately. Alder, hello, sir.
Good morning, Alder.
He comes from the land down under. It is good to have you here, sir. Painting a new Frostgrave warband tonight. Oh, nice. Nice. I've played Frostgrave, I think, twice. And I think the only thing that I didn't like about it was that only the two main characters advance versus, say, like in Nordheim.
Yeah.
Where everyone advances just in time for a Twisted update. Not really anything to update. At the moment, I'm not 100% sure where Derek is. In fact, I don't even know if he's received everything from Australia because I think they shipped it slow boat. So, who knows? They weren't in a mad rush to, it's not like there was a deadline or something. So they were looking for the most cost-effective way to get all of the molds, and there was a lot of stuff that had to be transferred. All right. Is anybody else seeing my camera flicker, or is that just on my end because
I've
of
seen it.
The storm? You are seeing it? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Let's see. Said just in the queue for our games, you can advance some of them. It was one of the expansions. Oh, okay. That would make a big difference. I'm gonna try switching cameras real quick.
See if that helps.
Yeah. This would be a great view right here. How you like that view, huh? That's fancy.
Oops, bump my camera.
I'll switch to that one there. I don't know if that's not too bad. My hands will probably be in the way, but we'll see if that's any better. Yeah, I'm hopeful for some Twisted updates soon. I have the first floor completely done for my Stormcrow Manor. I've got it based. I did some ground cover on it, and we actually played Burrows and Badgers in it the other night.
Yeah, that was good.
We used it. I made the board too big. I do that sometimes. It's like I have no middle ground. I'm either playing on a 2x2 board or I'm going as big as the table will let me go. but it was still really good. It was definitely a learning game. And I did get one new skill I actually in the rule book, it's actually a shrew. So it's a really small guy, but I actually have this model, which is a dog knight, but I printed him tiny, like he's a little miniature Yorkie.
Okay.
And so he's who I was using. And that was fun. But I'm going to order some more Alder says 3x3 works best for Burrows and Badgers. Yeah, I played a game on a 2x2 and it worked really well too. It was brutally fast. It was brutally fast. I'll tell you what it reminded me of when I shrunk it when we played on the 2x2. And we haven't talked about Relic Blade in a long time, but the speed at which it played put it in that same category of Relic Blade, where you could probably get half a campaign done in a long afternoon of playing.
Sometimes that's pretty good because then you can get multiple games in, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. All right. Let's see. This fine fellow here. Hello. Come on in.
We'll just wait till Billy D. Williams tells me I got a text.
Billy does?
Yeah, I have him on my phone. That and Chewbacca and
Now you got some Star Trek sounds on your phone too, right?
No.
You know I did that just for you.
Yeah. Now, I think the only one I would have, if I did have one, would be Captain Kirk yelling Khan.
Well, I will permit it. It's okay.
I'm almost wondering if my
2x2
primer
could
is...
be in combat on turn 1, so ranged models don't do well. Yeah, that was, and like I said, the game that I played on that one was, it was, number one, it was a solo game, and you know, it works well enough. We'll typically, I have plenty of room, so as we play throughout, we'll probably play on the larger size, that 3x3, but you know, that's just stuff I like to do. It's fun. Did I cross that up? I did. Okay. Wait a second. Oh, I did that backwards.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do...
So I think what we should talk about next week there for you people that are with us, so you could sneak peek what we're talking about, is I think that we should talk about Quar.
Yeah, the plastics are out now.
The plastics are out. The Facebook is booming. People are really, really ramping it up, and and it's a good game. I don't actually know for sure how the new rules work. I don't know what has changed within the rule set, or for that matter, if anything has. So it was previously functioning under Song of Blades and Heroes rule set. And I don't know what it's functioning under or as now. But one of the things that I thought was really cool about it, what's happening right now, is that Josh, who we've had on a couple of times, has a tribe on my mini factory. Well, one of the things that he's doing is he's putting out heads, accessories, just little stuff. You know, I mean, it's my mini factory, so it's a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. It's gotten me intrigued, re-intrigued, I should say, because I don't have a whole bunch, but I have a decent amount of miniatures. But I have the old medals. Nothing wrong with those, but I've been tempted to jump on his tribe just because he also has the other games that some of y'all probably have heard us talk about. My favorite one, which is basically Muppets in Space.
Yeah.
Now, I may have actually said the name wrong, because I think that there's actually supposed to be a certain volume level that accompanies saying it, and I don't think I said it loud enough. So
it's kind of
I
like
I don't want to scream into my microphone.
It's kind of like the
Monty Python.
Well, like the WOG.
Yes. Yeah.
Ogre chant.
Orcs, man. Orcs, not ogres. Orcs. Don't insult my orcs like that.
Yeah. Now you know what I played when they were a faction.
I was an orc player. Oh gosh, for so long. Actually, I was playing orcs right up until I got out of the game altogether. I did play a game of Kill Team since we've last met with my son. I lost. I lost because every time I play 40K or anything similar to it, Kill Team or whatever, I just get enamored with wiping everybody off the table instead of going after my objectives.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I don't do that in Crisis Protocol. I've gotten pretty good at going after what I'm supposed to be going after in Crisis Protocol. But boy, whenever I put it on the table and it's Games Workshop, I'm like, I just got to kill everybody. That's why I'm here. Don't care what the objectives are. Just got to kill everybody. so that's why I lost.
Because you didn't kill everybody.
I didn't. But he would have won anyway on objectives. But it was pretty fun. It's not something I'm going to get into. At least it's small.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to, I could print up a kill team, but I don't even have to because a buddy of mine gave me a bunch of Space Marines and Adeptus Mechanicus already painted, and they were specifically built by him and painted by him for kill team. Okay. So it's not like it's a whole army. It's just a smattering of different models. So although to be fair, I don't know what any of the Mechanicus dudes are. When we were getting ready to play, I told my son, I was like, I'll use the Mechanicus because I've never used them. I started getting the models out and looking at the sheet, and I'm like, I don't know who any of these dudes are. Like, I don't know what this dude is. I don't know what gun he's got. I'm just going to grab Space Marines. I know what they have.
Well, I think that's about it for this color.
Sweet. Been looking into Trench Crusade lately. That's what Alder said. You know what? I've poked around on that too, Alder. And I think I've got the same feeling you do. It's very dark and interesting. Not sure if it's got enough to drag me in, but it is looking pretty neat. Oh, look at there. There's a stranger. How you doing, Tyler? Good to see you, sir.
Wow.
Long time no see. Good to have you, sir. We're just sitting around painting tonight. I would ask Alder what he's painting, but Alder's at work.
He's just thinking about painting now.
Thinking about painting, that's right. No interest in Quar. How come? I mean, that's okay. I'm just curious. What about it doesn't spin your wheels? Let's see. Tyler said, been a while. We are doing well. This hurricane will blow over. We'll be good. It's hammering Florida for sure. I think actually where you are for a change is probably going to get more than I will.
Oh, let's see. What?
Too many games to play and not keen on the models. That's fair. That's fair. I love the models. I love all of Josh's minis. I remember when we talked to him, this was probably a couple years ago, and he refers to his models as Grimsicle. And I loved that. I absolutely loved that phrase. He has War of Ashes. Nothing's really as big as Quar for him, but the War of Ashes and the Muppets in Space,
yeah,
they're all really cool. Let's see. Tyler said shut down school today and tomorrow. Yeah, they shut down school here tomorrow. Rain and wind is picking up here, but it's not too bad right now. It's enough to knock the power out, but it's not too bad right here. Let's see. Look good, not your style on the models. And Alder says not a fan of the models as well. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. They remind me of the anteaters from the Pink Panther cartoon.
Yeah. I like, so I do really like the Quar models, but since we're on this Grimsicle sort of kick at the moment, especially occurred to me when we finished up our Burrows and Badgers game the other night, and I was standing over looking at my rule books, and I thought to myself, after playing that, I need to get Twilight on the table.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I absolutely love the Twilight models. I love Twilight reminds me more of Burrows and Badgers in the sense of the ownership, not the games, the ownership, meaning like the Lovejoys do everything Burrows and Badgers. You know, it's a family affair. Well, it's the same thing with the Thorpes for Twilight.
Yeah.
And then they're both very, 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 well, I don't want to say that Burrows and Badgers is unique, because really anthropomorphic animals, they're not that unique. But what he's done with them is so characterful that I just love it. And then, of course, there's really nothing miniature-wise out there like Twilight. I mean, it is 100% its own thing. And besides, it just got all of my making Alder proud over here. I got all of my Twilight stuff rebased, all of my Burrows and Badgers stuff rebased. Trying to make you proud of me, Alder. I'm not getting real fancy on the bases, or I haven't been. I imagine I'll probably one or two of them I will, but I've mostly been using 3D printed bases, stuff that I've just 3D printed. Oh yeah, the Moonstone. I've been tempted by Moonstone too. Eric has some.
I have some. They're very similar to those, very stylistic.
Yeah.
Unique. The goblins for that are so funny.
I will say, I watched I think I watched a playthrough of the rules, and I don't know that I cared for the mechanic of the game. I loved the models, but I don't know that I cared too much for the mechanic of the game. But I may be mistaken. You know what I mean? It's been a while since I looked at it, and I may be crossing my streams, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get a feel for a game unless you play it, a couple times and then frequently too. So close together so you can really judge the games.
Yeah. So what are you saying, Eric? You need to come down here so we can play Moonstone? Is that what you're implying by that statement?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Come on. What you waiting for?
You gotta wait till that wind stuff goes away, or you can come up here where we never get that.
No, no, it's no.
You see, I tried to reverse that on you.
No, that's just silliness. That's just silliness.
We don't get no wind to knock down trees and stuff like that. Shoot.
No, you just get so much ice in a tree that it falls down.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Ron says his goal is to play a different game each week, a list of 47 mini games to play more than one a week if we have time or the inclination. That's a good idea. We started out pretty strong on this. where we were going to do a campaign of a game and then follow it up with another campaign. And we did really good. We made it all the way through our Necromunda campaign. And then probably mostly my fault, because I'm sort of I'm the texter, you know, the initiator of, hey, does anybody want to play? Most of the time, not all the time. And I guess I sort of dropped the ball on that. But we got started back up with Burrows and Badgers, and I'm excited about that because I really want my tiny shrew to become super powerful, because that'd be funny. We did have, so one really funny thing happened is I can't imagine the weasels in the game, because you can get a weasel, and I have a bunch of weasel models, and I love the weasel models, but they're not super tough. They're not a big one, but I ended up Seth's gargantuan, enormous, gigantic bulldog, that one that you have, Eric.
Yeah.
He charged my weasel, and I'm like, oh, my weasel's dead. Yeah, it's one of those kind of situations in the game where you're like, you know, you've got a goblin and a space marine charges him kind of thing. You're like, oh, I am so dead. And I always picture the weasels as, you know, they're kind of cocky, right? That's my mental image of the weasels. Well, my weasel survived 3 turns, never even got hit by the bulldog.
Wow.
And so when I posted the pictures, I was like, there's not going to be any living with that weasel now, because he spent 3 turns fighting that bulldog. One of those turns by himself before my otter leader got there, and he never got hurt. And so he's just going to be smack talking the rest of his life now, how he survived that. So there's no living with the weasel anymore.
You get a name now?
Oh, he already had a name.
Okay.
I named them all before we started. I'm sure that as the weasel, he will be adding some superlatives to that name to describe himself even more. You know, things not superlatives, but adjectives to say things along the lines of the mighty, the unstoppable, the invincible, the unwoundable, you know, things like that he'll add to his name. The bane of bulldogs. Oh, I might add that one to his name, seriously, on my sheet. Seth would love that. Yeah, so it's definitely a game that I feel like one of the things that in our many talks about the Drowned Earth is it's one of those games that I feel like fosters those kinds of moments.
Mm-hmm.
It fosters those kinds of story moments within the game. Oh, thank you, Tyler. We appreciate you giving us some love on Twitch. Let's see. Alder said he's intrigued by the rule set for Moonstone. Lack of dice always has me concerned. Me too. I think that was the stopper. But the bluff and counter of the card system does look fun. But, you know, I say that the dice thing gets me concerned. But at the same time, sometime back, Eric and I did a review of Primal and Brutal.
Yeah, those were great games.
I can't remember the company name, but out of New Zealand, down in your neck of the woods, Alder. In fact, Peter did some of the artwork. No, not the artwork. The Peter Overton works at a printer, and he did some of the printing stuff for. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he did some printing for those books, and those don't have. They just use a card system, and I played those, and I found them very cool. So I might have to give Moonstone another look. There you go, Eric. Mm-hmm. Tyler said if you come down to visit, he'll come up from Jacksonville. Come on. Now you got no excuse, son. And I already know your wife wants to come down.
Yeah. Be a nice time around January, February to leave Chicagoland.
The real reason you don't want to come down is because if you come down here with your wife, she might not go back with you.
Yeah, she might stay down there. It's true. Well, every day I work at the old PO. I'm getting to that point too.
Well, I told you we have a post office down here.
No, I don't want to go back to one.
Well, I know you don't want to.
Heck, no. Let's do this.
He said he'll even buy you a beer. He'll even buy you some fish over there at Dockside instead of that.
Oh.
Uh-huh. We had to get Eric some real seafood when he came down here. Instead of that Gorton's frozen fish.
I was gonna say that Gorton's. Yeah. Not that cafeteria fish food?
No, man. So the restaurant we took you to, Dockside, that's its second location. The reason it's called Dockside, it's still on the water. For those of you who've never been to Beaufort, it's still on the water, but it was called Dockside because it used to be over in a different part of town and was right next to where all the fishing boats would come in. So it literally was getting its food, all of its seafood, right off of the fishing boats when they would come in. It was getting all of its stuff dockside. So that was the whole shebang for that. Yes, sir. We do have some delicious fresh seafood. Thanks for joining us, Alder. Get to painting some more of those burros and badgers, guys. I want to see some more of your awesome, epic paint jobs, sir. No, it's not down. Dockside's not downtown. It's actually on the other side of the bridge. So there's the swing bridge downtown, and then once you cross the swing bridge, it's just across there. I'm pretty sure I'm not actually going to finish anything tonight, but that's okay.
I'm going to get a nice first base coat on mine. This thing, man, it's smaller, but yet I think it's got more details than this big chunky guy.
Yeah, that's where we're going so far. He's coming out pretty good. That's the color scheme.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's still on the water. It's just not at a fishery anymore. It's not where the fishing boats come in. It's where the recreation boats come in now.
Yeah, it's on the channels, right?
Yeah, it's on an intercoastal waterway. I'm working on 12 different models. I know I won't get much done. Well, I'm only working on 3. This one was probably a terrible idea since I just had to put my dog down today, and now I'm painting a dog night, and I decided it'd be a really good idea for me to just paint him the same color as my dog.
Yeah.
So that probably wasn't the best idea as far as like doing it today, you know?
Yeah. That's what I did with my bulldog, actually.
Yeah, because I know everybody doesn't feel that way about dogs, and that's okay. You don't have to, but me and my family do.
Hey, Ron, you're doing it wrong. You just got to block and wash. 1, 2, 3, dip, done.
1, 2, 3, dip. 1, 2, 3, dip. Oh, no. Can't remember the last time you painted. You should paint something. I haven't done a very good job this past week, but it's been a little bit hectic. It's been kind of hectic and stuff because I knew the putting down of the dog, it was an appointment, so I've known all week. Which just I would rather it had just been like, oh, today's the day, but it wasn't, so I knew all week. So, but I try to sit down for, if I can do 10 minutes, if I can put a wash on 3 models and then walk away.
Yeah. So you're still doing something, right?
Yeah. That's what I try to do. I don't always succeed, but I think it's a really good way to kind of maintain some kind of momentum so that you don't feel like, man, I haven't done anything in forever, or so you don't feel like, although this can be a positive as well, so that it doesn't feel like you have to get everything painted because, well, it's Monday and you've got a game planned for Friday and you don't have anything painted for it, or you have to finish painting something for it. But that can be good motivation too.
Yeah. I think that's why I used to paint a lot of times. Like when I was doing the underworlds and stuff, you know, it's like, oh, I got to get this warband done so I can try it out, type of thing.
Right. Well, I know that's how Alder thinks, because Alder won't put it on the table unless it's painted. Although now that I think about it, when Seth and I played Burros and Badgers the other night, that's exactly what it was. We had absolutely everything on the table was painted.
It might have added a lot to it.
Yeah, we had none of the Gray Legion was on the table. I mean, there was still a lot of gray, but that's because we had the big building.
I keep hitting my camera.
Oh, now I can hear the wind from inside.
And you're downstairs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but my downstairs goes right out to the
true.
marsh. So
that's true. Let's see. I need to paint. You know what? I'm going to leave that. Do a little bit of touching up here. Just a little bit.
Oh, well, we did. My household did have one big change since we were on last. And that is my wife no longer works nights.
Whoa, that's big.
Yeah, 9 years of working nights, 12-hour shifts.
Wow.
She is on a Monday to Friday, 8 to 4.
Wow. That's like normal hours. Like she'll see sunlight.
Uh-huh. It's been amazing. It's only been let's see. It's only been a week and a half.
Wow. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, you get so used to, you know, the routine that you have, and something like that changes. Wow, that's a big change.
Yeah, it's a good change, though. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Off every Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Able to go to kids' sporting stuff, you know, like track meets and stuff, because we're in cross country right now.
That's one of my biggest beefs right now is that a couple of years ago, post office started cutting things, and one of the things they cut is not so much hours, but they I don't even know how to describe what they did, but they cut days off because, like, for me, I'm evaluated based on mail volume, and the mail volume's dropped enough that it's like, well, you don't get paid enough to get the day off now. So they basically took your paid day off. So I work every Saturday, and I absolutely hate it.
Well,
fortunately, I don't have little ones, but still, it cuts into my family time, you know?
Oh, of course it does. And you just had an anniversary.
Yes. Yeah, I ended up, the only way I could actually enjoy it and get things done and all that stuff is just take a whole week off.
Yeah.
Which I hate doing too, because there I'm burning my vacation time.
Sure. I think I'm going to get this wash on and I'm going to call it a night. It's been something of a long day for me.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of, think I'm running out of steam because I've gotten most of what I wanted covered, and it's at that point where I got to let it dry, do some touch-ups, maybe do some washes and stuff to get some of my shadows deeper. And then I'd like to come back with this magenta and maybe lighten it up.
Yeah.
And do some edging to it. But I think she turned out pretty good.
You know, one of the things I like to do, this from my non-professional painting expertise I shall supply to you, is I like to use the speed paints with about 2 or 3 drops of glaze medium in them, and use them as a heavy wash, almost ink, on my reds, and then go back over them and highlight them.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it gives me those deep shadows without doing it with, say, like a brown, like Agrax.
Yeah.
You know, as I sit here slothing Agrax all over everything.
That's kind of what I used to do when we did the Wild West Exodus, because I wanted them that dusty, dirty.
Hey, where'd you go? I can't see you.
And I would just highlight them after I did.
That's
like
not
that
you. That's your mech. All right, I'm going up.
Well, you want me?
Yeah.
Because
I'm getting ready to go to bed.
And I had to move over.
I'm getting ready to go to bed, and my wife is upstairs and not at work. What? That's crazy.
That's
talk.
Weird. Yeah,
it is still kind of weird.
I have a visitor right there, but
is it a dog or is it a wife?
Dog.
Oh,
wife's
in Barney?
No, it's actually the little girl.
Oh, Betty. What you doing, Betty? Come on in.
I'm surprised she's kind of being a shadow because she's got an ear infection. So it's one of those dad puts this drops in the ear and gets mad at you. And
yeah,
got another visitor.
I got another visitor now.
No, now you got the good visitor. I'm telling him to come down here, Mary. Lean on him. Pressure him.
We're getting closer to winter. It might be
That's
easier.
what I said.
I know. Come on. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, guys. We're sorry that we've been out for a little while, but, this is our hobby. This ain't exactly like it pays bills and stuff, and it's not what it's supposed to be, but thanks for joining us tonight. I've got a couple of ideas about games that we can talk about, and they're definitely going to be a whole lot really back in that independent vein. The Burrows and Badgers, the Quars, the Twilights, those types of games to be talking about again, especially since we're able to get them on the table a little more recently. So thanks for joining us as we continue to try and expand the gaming universe, one 3D printed miniature at a time. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, smash all of the cool buttons. Go push them now. And we'll see Todd again, and we'll end up with a new saying instead of just the fastest 30-ish minutes in wargaming. He always comes up with a good.
Yeah,
good
he's
one.
been trying to join us, but we keep just missing him each other.
Yeah, he was tried to join last week, and we weren't here. So, but join us most every Thursday night where we'll do the streams. We will be up next week, barring unless there's another hurricane coming through and I have no power, in which case, maybe I won't be. But check us out on all your podcast platforms and listen to some stuff from the past. Nothing from the future. We haven't figured out how to do that yet, but you can listen to stuff from the past on all of those wonderful platforms. Check us out: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Discord, and drop us a line at indieinvasion@gmail.com if you want to talk or throw any suggestions, options out at us. Go check out the Discord. We've got some Burrows and Badgers stuff posted up over there that looks pretty cool. Well, I think it looks cool. It's my terrain, so and Seth's models looked great, and it was all a good time. Don't forget to check us out on Redbubble, where you can pick up any Indie Invasion merch you might need, like a coffee cup, a hat, a T-shirt, or as the cold weather comes in, surprisingly, I have an Indie Invasion hoodie that I got from Redbubble, and it's actually a pretty good hoodie. It's got a metal zipper and everything, so it's actually a pretty good quality hoodie. So, on that note, next week, don't forget to join us. And as you're out there playing your games, painting your minis, and possibly even printing your minis, don't forget to prepare yourself for the invasion.